everybody, welcome to the next edition of my 3D poi spinning tutorial. Hopefully you've watched the previous ones and you've caught up to this point. If you haven't, then just please go back and watch those so you can be up to speed. For now, what I really want to show you is my new contact staff. I made this with some aluminum, 3/4 inch aluminum piping from Home Depot, and the craziest grip that I've ever felt on a staff, baseball bat grip. It's kind of expensive. It was like about $8 for each set of grip tape, and there's 2 of them. So it's expensive, but it's really grippy, and it actually kind of hurts if you're spinning without a shirt. It's really heavy, got like 6-inch Kevlar on it. I'm really proud of it, honestly. I like it a lot. Nice and heavy. Yeah, that's all. Actually, I think I'm going to show you what I've been working on recently with the contact staff. A little bit off topic, bear with me. I've been working on the matrix, and there's a particular part of it that's kind of difficult for me. If any of you guys know any good tutorials, some like Nick Woolsey style in-depth descriptions of the mechanics and how it feels, please send me a link, because I'm having some trouble finding some good contact staff tutorials. There's plenty of demonstrations, but not many good tutorials on it. And that's where I'm having trouble, right there. Yeah, it's new to me. Please help me find some tutorials. So, onto the poi. Okay, so on to business. In this tutorial, what I'm going to cover is some slight inclusion of the 360-degree range that you have to play in. Not a whole lot of focus on the back 4 cubes, because what I neglected to mention initially in the earlier tutorials is that when you start to use these back cubes, you're mostly going to be using these cubes once you've turned around. You'll use them from time to time as you reach back, like this, but when you turn, when you use any other parts of those cubes, at that time you've ended up turning either this way and you're using that back cube like this, or you've turned completely and you're using the cubes like this. So that's why I left those out, because those back 4 cubes can be thought of in a lot of ways your front cubes once you've turned around. But for right now, what we're going to cover is something that's very popular. People like G made it really popular, doing like kind of full circle turns, pirouettes within your cube. One very popular one was using, or is, going from a wheel plane flowers like this and turning like this and going back into other flowers, and sort of turning around and doing flowers around you using those back 4 cubes, using the entire 3D space that you're standing in. So that's what I'm going to cover right now. So how we're going to get into this, and the easiest way that I know of is, as we've covered before, penduluming up into the move. So we're going to practice doing this, and we're going to go into horizontal and then come down. Horizontal and down. And both of my poi are in horizontal plane when I do this. And then they just, once they reach their front and back stall points, they're going to pendulum down. And you can do it either way. You can do it right hand coming forward, or right hand going backwards. Practice it in both directions for best results. From here, when you get comfortable with that, what we're going to work on next is butterfly flowers. By now you should be comfortable with these butterfly flowers, same time, in wheel plane. If you are not comfortable doing these flowers, then find a tutorial on YouTube that covers same time butterfly flowers in wheel plane. Homopoi is probably a good bet for you to go to. There's plenty of tutorials on there in the Learn section. A whole lot of information, a whole lot of good techniques and patterns for you to work on. So get those butterfly flowers down. Then come back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this horizontal anti-spin. When we get to these outside points here, we're going to go into a butterfly flower anti-spin to the top. So both poi are going to go like this and then up. And work on trying to accomplish this pattern. What this essentially ends up being is a butterfly flower folded and at a 90-degree angle. So you're doing a butterfly, or you're doing a flower, and you are folding it at 90 degrees. Still a flower, and we covered something similar to this before in the tutorial where we covered these. It is a flower folded at 90 degrees. You're doing that same thing, but you're folding it this way. Okay? So work on that. You're doing it with both hands in butterfly mode. To get that, now we're going to throw in the bottom pedals. So you come around like this, and you go like that. This is where those stalls from from down to the side and then back come into play, because you're going to need to do that. Once you come back like this, you need to pull it down. So you should be comfortable with that by now as well. You're going to come down. When you get both of these down, you can start doing the whole movement in both directions. So yeah, practice that for a little bit, drill it, get it down, and then continue with the rest of this tutorial. The next thing I'm going to cover is a extension versus anti-spin hybrid. A lot of you will recognize it. You would go like from these flowers like this. If you don't know this yet, look for a tutorial on Homopoi or somewhere on YouTube that covers it and learn that. It's easy to get to. Just by doing these butterfly flowers, your hands are in same time butterfly mode as well as your poi. You're going to switch into split time same direction with your hand motion. And it's honestly as easy as just, once you get to these outside points, just going into chase mode. So we're going to throw that into our plane breaking lesson today. So start back here, butterfly mode. Once you get here, do that. And then when your extending hand comes up here, you can go back into here, into the normal pattern. And that covers that. The final part of this particular tutorial is going to include split time same direction chase flowers in with these patterns, and they all link very easily together. So we come where we're comfortable already. We've already gotten comfortable with this. Now, just like we would get into the bottom petals of the flower, like that, the same sort of way at these two stall points here. instead of bringing them both down, you're going to bring one down and one up. So you come back, one up, one down. One up, one down. One up, one down. Okay? So practice that a little bit, just the way I did it just there. Once you get comfortable with that, then you're going to be able to throw it in to the rest of these patterns and mix them all together, which will look something like this. So that's how you do all that. It's a very fun combination of flowers that you can do using all 8 cubes in your larger cube. And turning, might take some time for you to get used to the turning part of it. The turning with any of those patterns is just like turning with it, doing it in single plane, doing your butterflies, turning it with it like that. I hope that helped. I'll see you next time.